Hello, everyone. Just a very impromptu, as I said. This isn't coming out at 12 o'clock like my normal ones, and it's additional to the normal days videos. If I'm irritating you with the pop-ups, I apologise. I do think you can silence them down below anyway, so you can get the subscription without having the notification. Just today, there was news I'm actually quite happy about. So it's something that came I was waiting for a very, very long time. I'd taken a complaint against my previous job. I've three complaints. I actually had something like six complaints, and we whittled them down to three complaints through entering them into different areas of law and stuff like that. So I don't really understand the whole thing, but anyway, I lost every complaint. I got word today, and I would like to congratulate my previous employers for their win. Well deserved, absolutely well deserved, because as far as I was concerned, mine was unlosable. It's kind of that thing, isn't it, where you feel you can't lose. How can I lose this? Because everything was tied down. And if I could share with you what I mean by that, I will. So, yeah, I put three complaints in, one under the Terms and Conditions of Employment, one under Parental Leave Act, and one under Safety, Health and Welfare at Work Act. Now, the Safety, Health and Welfare at Work Act, they've actually only answered in the thing one complaint. And it was where I was driving an ambulance. I'd worked 11 and a half hours of a 12-hour shift at this time. And this is a regular occurrence. This is the last of probably 16 complaints that I'd issued to my managers that this was ongoing and it was very unsafe and dangerous. And I just couldn't continue to work, and we got another call, and I said I'm unfit for work, I'm taking myself off, and my manager chose to threaten me. Not See, this is the thing that WRC is coming at, this idea of that I somehow didn't get punished. They don't see that threatening you is a punishment, so they threatened to hold my pay for that shift until they investigate. Now, the WRC found that they have every right to investigate, and I never disputed that. They have every right to investigate. They don't, as far as I'm concerned, have a right to threaten you, to intimidate you, to frighten you, to scare you, for you to go home to your family and say, I don't know if I'm going to get paid for today. Why? Because I needed to look after my health and safety. But the WRC can't see that, which is fine, because that's obviously not in their remit. That's not something they can do. Um, as I said, if I put in parental leave request in 2016, that sat on a desk of a manager for 4 months. As we know, there's a certain amount of time. I got on to the manager again. He ignored my correspondence. I had to take a case at that stage to WRC. This time, I put in a request for so I put in a number of requests for parental leave this time, and each time was been challenged. And I felt that it was because I had put in a previous complaint. So I mentioned this in the WRC case, and the WRC found that because it was such a long time that they couldn't see how there's an issue, which is fascinating. It's really interesting, because this is an insight into the fact that whatever a manager tends to do to you, wants to do it in a long enough time frame, wants to do it for, let's say, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, it's not seen as bullying or harassment or anything that's actually happening to you now. So the longer you live with the experience seems to be the better for them. So if you, I don't know, I'm just kind of boggled. My mind's a little bit boggled, because as I say, I have reams of evidence, reams of information. I actually won every hearing that we had with the manager. The WRC adjudicator actually said openly, that's illegal, you can't do that. And I went up, and then actually stated again those things about I was seconded, I took a secondment onto an ROV response car. And while I was on the response car, the COVID hit, obviously, and it affected everyone. And I agreed to stay on the car for a short term, because we had something like 8 months on the car, and I agreed to stay on the car for a short term during COVID. COVID ended, essentially, not that it ended, but the pressure that was on the ambulance service at the time ended. Everyone was going back to their normal place. I applied to go back. Actually, I didn't. I applied first for annual leave for Christmas, and I was refused. Now, this is considering as well that I had actually had all my annual leave refused all through that time. I wasn't allowed any break. So this is walking through COVID with no breaks. And yes, the management can argue needs of the service and the pressure and all this kind of stuff, but the needs of my mental health where I needed time off. And I was already off. I actually applied for annual leave, not for Christmas, sorry, and they'd said to me they refused it again, and I highlighted that I had no annual leave, and they said it doesn't really matter. We're not giving you annual leave. We don't have the capacity to cover you or something like that. And I said, okay, well, I want to go back to my base, my original base, because this is a comment that's gone on past probably a year at this stage, and they'd said, no, we're not at liberty to release you. And I went, well, it's my base. Like I've done you a favor, and they refused point blank to let me go. And then they dug in and started to make things quite difficult for me. You know that kind of place you be as an employee. And then I'd said, well, I want Christmas off because if I go back to my base, I'd be off Christmas. I'm due off Christmas, and they refused that. So the WRC strangely didn't see this as punitive action, which again is very surprising to me. So again, your managers can pretty much do whatever they want to you, which is a lovely thing to think about. I love the fact now that I have no manager. I work for myself. I don't answer to absolutely anybody. So there's the Parental Leave Act, there's this. Then I highlighted an issue around a vehicle's unroadworthiness, and I lost that as well, which is quite interesting under the health and safety. But as I said, I had a massive, massive amount of complaints. I've evidence to support everything I put in, and it was found. What I tell you the wording now of it. Basically, how I lost was um, the adjudicator said, right in a complaint under the Terms of Employment Information Act, I find that the complaint is not well founded. Complaint under the Parental Leave Act, I find that the complaint is not well founded. Complaint under the Safety, Health and Welfare at Work Act, I find that the complaint is not well founded. So it's really fascinating to me, and I actually do honestly, because like this isn't something that's sitting with me and I'm bothered. I'm just entertained, because if I was in the job, if I was remaining, if I was still in the job, I think this would actually destroy me. The fact that I'm out of the job, I am so happy to be away from them people. Um, and I heard a lovely rumor. This is the thing I was saying in one of my videos, that I love to hear rumors about myself. I had a lovely rumor recently that apparently I received a cease and desist order from management to tell me, to instruct me to stop putting up videos. I haven't, lads. I haven't received a cease and desist order, and if I do receive a cease and desist order, I will not cease and desist. I don't work for anybody. I'm not saying anything to discredit anyone. I'm telling the truth here. And if they want to mute me for the truth, they can take me to court, because I'm a professional now, and I have a different kind of backing. And any judge who then outside of the WRC remit sees the reasons I'm putting this in is to protect the mental health of those remaining. And now more than ever, I can see that these people need more support. These staff need more support, because the managers are winning. They're winning, and I'm going to make this offer. All right, this is a genuine offer. Um, it does seem to me that it's all about manager bashing now. It's like I'm attacking managers. I'm actually not attacking managers. I know managers are working from a different place. I know they're under their own specific pressures, and I put out an open invitation here. I'm inviting you here to come and talk to me. If you want to talk to me privately, online, we'll have a little chat, like other people, like members of staff have done, and tell me your perspective. If you don't want me to release your name, I won't release your name. Absolutely, I will honour your confidentiality. I haven't mentioned the managers that nearly destroyed me. I haven't mentioned the managers that are ongoing, destroying them. That isn't because I'm afraid of anybody. If anybody knows me, I'm not afraid. I hold a very strong confidentiality, and whether you're paying me or not paying me, and as these are free, I will hold your information confidentially. I won't release it to anybody unless you consent, unless you tell me I can. It's okay. And when I mention any organization, it's not to slow that organization or to discredit or disparage them in any way. It's to notice that I am aware people are saying to me that they're in this organization, and this has been said. And interestingly now, which has come out on News Talk, if you're listening to News Talk and you just Google News Talk and go into the little talk now at the minute, it's not exclusive to our job. And I'm aware of that. I've been aware of that for some time. And this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to go back and trying with these videos to offer people that this is, it's not going to make you feel better. If you're interested in going into therapy, go and look for therapy. Does lovely. The employee assistance program is a fantastic thing to use. Use the employee assistance program. If you need longer than 6 sessions, use the employee assistance program because they're free, and then seek out a therapist that suits you. So I'm not saying this as a, oh, all managers are bad. I'm very aware that there's difficult staff. I wasn't the best staff member. My manager actually said this in the WRC case, which I thought was brave. But he leaned across to the adjudicator and said Damien wasn't the best employee. And I thought, fuck, the balls on that lad. But fair play, I thought, yeah, he's right. I'm not going to argue. I wasn't the best employee. I was doing, when we go back to quiet quitting, I had stopped. I had given up. I was burnt out. I was destroyed. The job destroyed me emotionally, physically, mentally. When I went sick because I prolapsed the disc in my back, I was intimidated into coming back to work. That kind of thing. When I was off with mental health issues, I received emails every single day. When are you coming back to work? I need a bit of time, as I said. So, again, my offer is I'm opening. If you really want to be heard, if you want your side heard, I'll listen to you. I'll honour you. I'll respect you. It'll be me and you. It's not Damien, the bad employee. It's Damien, the psychotherapist. I will listen to you. I will listen to your side. I will understand how difficult it is for you. And let's have that, because in a management staff thing, it's this idea that you're above. Realistically, lads, you're not above anybody. You have a different role, you have responsibilities and this kind of stuff. But this above thing makes you seem, as if you feel you're better than. And this then gets into your interjected values. If we go back to that, this makes you feel you're better than. You're not better than anybody. You have a different skill set. And if you use that wrong, you're going to destroy lives. So I'm going to ask you again, please reach out to me. I'd love to talk to you. Even if you hate me, even if you think I'm the worst thing in the world, please have your say. I am not here to try and destroy anybody. I'm really concerned that this is turning, and I'm looking at what's happening here. Does this fight them managers and them it's really at each other's throats, and it's not going to end well. So look, if you want to, I'm offering you. Reach out. We can come on here. If you want to do a video thing link, or if you want to just talk to me privately, and I will pass on what you said. I will talk about what's said. Otherwise, I won't cease and desist. I won't stop what I'm doing. I'm actually telling the truth, and I'm not going to be silenced. There's no gag orders going to be placed on me. So if it offends you, maybe change your practice. Thank you very much for watching. Talk to you soon.